I told the fellas I'd be back. Told the fellas I'd be back. What the deal was popping? What's the word? People of the web. Back at it again. Back at it again with the white buttons. Nah. This one right here, the greatest manga of all time. Nigga. No explanation needed.
Thanks to Purdue Global, I got my literal dream job.
Getting a degree backed by the power of Purdue.
The Big Three Manga. This is three stories that came out in the early 2000s, very close to one another. They garnered worldwide popularity and success back to back to back. All of them have their own soul, their own flavor, their own path to success, but what they share inherently is that they're iconic, that they changed the industry, molded it to what we see today. So many of your favorite stories are inspired by these three manga.
If you don't know by now, let me tell you. One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. Yay! Just all that shit up. All iconic. All goals. You see him. You see him. Yeah, nigga, flexing on him. Flex. Way past the intro. We got 2 minutes. We already 2 minutes in the video. Now I'm playing. It's 30 seconds. I'm going through my Naruto rewatch right now as we speak. One Piece still bumming out. Bleach. Still ain't watched the newest episodes. I'm into Aizen. They got a free Aizen, bro. Free that nigga. Free Aizen. Them wild words right there. Them some wild words to stay back like in 07, 08, 06. Free Aizen. Nigga, what? It was like 2010. Free who? Wild as hell. Free Aizen. Nigga, what are you talking about? That's wild, bro. The Naruto rewatch is incredible right now. Every time, no, the Bleach rewatch is in the works for sure. Spooky season coming up. Gotta get in the Hugo Mundo. Fuck a butcher. I don't give a fuck. You already know I'm about to see it. And watching Luffy try to save Ace hit the soul every time. So yeah, that's not all that all these shows is. It's just saying there's so many ups and downs with this shit, bro. Like he said, iconic.
I want to go back and remember them. Naruto was the first, but it wasn't my first manga. When I was growing up, I knew about anime, but I didn't understand it as any kid would. I see it on TV and I just kind of recognize it as another cartoon, right? But I think specifically for Naruto, it was grouped with a lot of other stuff that I would see. So Dragon Ball was airing at the time, or Dragon Ball Z. I think Death Note was playing some stuff in the morning, as well as like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And One Piece and Bleach. They all were kind of playing episodes back to back, and before school, like when you're in primary school, when you're a young kid, they would play a couple of episodes very early within the morning from like 6 o'clock to like 8 o'clock.
Off the rip, I think he from England, because he just said primary school. We don't have that. I'm from the US. Nigga, we have elementary school and middle school. I didn't start watching Naruto till after school, way after Cartoon Network was done airing. Tsunami was showing us the ninja way and shit, nigga. My brother showing me all that shit, bro. For real. Like, that nigga was like, yeah, man, this that shit. This that splat. Nigga, never miss with that, man. But either way, I was reading the book, like, nigga, out 3rd grade, passing the book around during silent reading. Hey, bro, you gotta read this bitch, bro. It's in my desk. Grab that bitch. Look at that picture now. What is this? Rock Lever's car? What the? He dropped weights? I was like, bro, this fucking way back in the day, nigga. It's like, bro, he did that, bro. You feel me? That ass. Me and Gator was probably saying, oh, bro, the aura. Whole time, aura. We saying aura still. It's just everybody saying aura now. You know what? We ain't about to take it there. Yeah, bruh. Toonami. Long live Toonami, bruh. I don't give a fuck. You better be here till the end of days for humanity, man. He better be here. He the reason why shit work now. He the reason why shit going the ways. He the reason why shit going the good ways. Going the great ways. Like, what? Be in this bitch.
So, depending on when you'd go to school, you might be able to bust out a couple of episodes while you're getting ready. This was the worst way to experience this story, but it did get you into it. I remember really enjoying Naruto, but not knowing where to go with it. So, as a kid, didn't really understand, like, you know, manga or comprehend anime or, like, the differences between, like, oh my god, it's Japanese because they played it in English.
Nigga like me, I guess I'm just built different. I knew from the jump. I said, yeah, bro. This an anime. Yeah, well, that's because my family was different. My family was always like I had older sisters and older brothers, and they always ordered Shonen Jump and shit. So I just came up off the shit. Like I already knew. Like by the time I was like second grade, I knew what a book was. I knew what Shonen Jump was. I knew that bitch was a comic book along with Sports Illustrated and East Bay, bro. Yeah, one of them niggas. And Shonen Jump had the black and white panels. It's hard to not notice, like, hey, why is everything black and white in this bitch? Like, why am I reading this shit? Like, you read a manga, instead of left to right, right to left. So, like, yeah, you going, like, right to left with the shit. Like, you really, like, it's just crazy, right? Like, you pulling your book this way instead of this way. You know, like, you know, it's easy. So once you get to that point, it's like, all right, bro, there's some Japanese shit, there's some foreign shit, nigga. Have my foreign bag. The nigga hopped in the foreign bag, ain't never looked back, bruh. And look, here we are. But look, bruh. Like I said, I guess I was built different. But man, off the rip, in my Shonen Jump magazine, Bleach was in there. One Piece was in there, and Naruto was in there. Originally, I thought the big three, honestly, meant just the big three and Shonen Jump. Honestly, that's what I thought it was. I mean, technically, that could still be that, but like, nigga, I just thought it was like, oh, they the biggest three in Shonen Jump. They the biggest three in anime, period. Like, that's just literally how my brain worked in the moment. It's just like, because it had Yu-Gi-Oh in there too. They would have Yu-Gi-Oh every now and then. They would have this shit called Bakuman every now and then. Oh, it's this one shit. I don't even think niggas would know the name of this. I don't even remember the name of this shit, bro. Yeah, they had a lot of shit in that bitch. They had Dragon Tales in that bitch, bro. Dragon Ball Z in that hoe, bro. They do everything. Anyways, that's whole tangent. Damn, we in 8 minutes again. We only 1 minute in. Listen, nigga. We get into this bitch. Fuck all the bullshit.
So I kind of just appreciated what it was. Just another cartoon on the TV. Years would pass when I would be, you know, a young teen, going into that young teen era, and I would come across it again. I remember vividly trying to search up Naruto, trying to see, you know, what the difference is between anime and manga, and like what manga was specifically. And all I got hit with was like a panel that was in black and white and in Japanese, and it threw me off so hard because I didn't know anything that it kind of scared me from manga for quite a bit. I don't know what I was looking at, or where I was, or what the story was going. Did I spoil myself, or were I going back and reading old stuff? But back then, it was so much more difficult to find this stuff. Eventually, this would lead into, you know, understanding anime and manga, trying to find Naruto and read it weekly. Because at that time, it was still going, it was incredibly popular, and it was, I guess, niche globally. It didn't have the worldwide appeal yet, but I did go back, and I started to read it, and the experience with this story is fantastic. Man. Like, Naruto is one of those stories that feels very warm and bubbly, and really something that you can easily connect to because of its main character, Naruto. In retrospect, it's a really traditionally told story with a lot of beautiful artistry and a lot of beautiful character work, and the pacing, at least from what I remember weekly, was phenomenal. For me, Naruto feels like a perfect opener for people that are getting into the anime or manga industry. You have a plethora of episodes that cover...
This nigga name is Sufferance. Not a bad name. The greatest manga of all time. Tap into the video. He got some good edits in this bitch. He took the
story,
time.
or you can read the entire manga, and for something that has 700 chapters, that's really impressive. That's an era that doesn't really exist anymore. I fell in love with Naruto because it feels very sincere. Like the character interactions, the character journey, the relationships between them, the grand story. While there's a lot of big and ambitious and powerful things going on with crazy abilities and jutsus, at the end of the day, the core story is really emotional. There's a lot you could potentially relate with. There's a lot you can peel back and explore on your own. And while it never really gets too depressing, there's a lot of strong thematic presence in there that I think Kishimoto done well to balance appropriately. You would have these horrifying things happening to people or around people, but the way that he would showcase it balances it out effortlessly. It really sticks with you. And I think Naruto as a character is so iconic. Having a kind of child like that with that type of upbringing and that type of responsibility and that type of isolation, growing into it and trying to understand it and trying to understand himself. It's this really big journey of self-evaluation, and then you have other characters connected to it that are trying to go through their journey of self-evaluation. In this really big and conflicting, war-torn world where anything can kind of spark and blow up at any moment, it's ridiculous in scale thinking about it, but so beautifully and meticulously handled to its characters, and how much of a driving force they can potentially bring forward. Of course, it has its misses, like every story does, but easily the pros outweigh the cons, both in anime and manga, and the experience is unmatched. When you go back and watch this thing, when you experience it for the first time, or even just remembering it like I am now, it has an aura that surrounds it that just feels iconic. A memorable story that has shaped this industry for the better, a story and a character people will never forget.
We just watched this shit. I knew it. I knew it was that bit. That golf cart bit.
Save hundreds of Liberty Mutual customers.
Bleach was a funny experience for me as a kid. Bleach was the second story that I read out of the big three. The reason I didn't read One Piece at the time is because I had a lot of material and it took a bit of self-convincing to actually get into it. So I started with Bleach. Very different to what I was expecting. At this point, I had a couple of other manga under my belt, and Naruto was the ship at the top. Bleach was different because as much as it was hailed as being iconic and revolutionary, its vibe was totally off. Like a complete opposite to everything I would see from One Piece and what I remember of Naruto. I remember going into Bleach and being like, this doesn't feel like something that I've read before. Its opening is very simple, it's very straight to the point, but the vibes were darker, a little bit more moody. The main character was a lot older, like 15, 16 Ichigo, and his personality was sweet and sincere, but it was crusted over with that moody, kind of rebellious teenage aesthetic back then. That first impression is very memorable. Not because I think it's the best thing ever, but because it stood out among the big three. Like, okay, this story is going to be a little bit more moody, a little bit darker perhaps. One of the quickest things that I remember Bleach implementing pretty much straight from the get-go, chapter 1, is its sword mechanic or its sword powers. When you think about swords nowadays, they're a dime a dozen. Pretty much anything and everything about swords has been done, and it's rare that you will see new manga focus heavily on swords. Not impossible, looking at you, Kagurabachi, but rare. And it's mostly because I would say that Bleach back then implemented and mastered the sword power usage, but really took it to its limits. Like, it has the most kind of recognizable and iconic swordsmanship and power around swords that you could get. And every other story that has tried to use swords kind of loosely follows in its footsteps, either on purpose or by accident. There's another conversation about how it's difficult to mechanically make swords appealing because of how much they've been used and how much has been done with them. But Bleach is the predecessor for that. Kind of where it all began. Like, if you wanted a sword ability that looked cool, that changed and evolved and really had all these cool powers and elements to it, Bleach was number one. I appreciate that. Because of how early these stories were, the power system was a really big kind of draw. Like, you would get hooked by it very easily. Bleach took swords and made them incredibly interesting. Like, you would bond with the idea of that power, and it's fascinating how, looking back, it kind of changed the landscape for swordsmanship. Personally, I didn't fully connect with Bleach as much as the other.
I did. I felt that shit. When I was watching Bleach, I was like the same age as Ichigo, so it was like, that shit was real, bro. Like, that nigga would go fight his inner hollows, like, bro, he'll fight his demons. He's still fighting them niggas right now, literally still fighting them niggas right now to this day. Nigga, don't stop. This shit don't stop, nigga. Just get better at doing it.
I think it's a fantastic read. I think it's fun. I think it's ambitious. I think it's a lot darker and a lot more moody than its competition. But it does do things.
You gotta throw Ukiyoda in there every time, bro. It doesn't. It's not a Bleach vid without the goat. Without the goat. The goat. Hey, bro. He's not what drew me in, but it's definitely what was on my mind when I was done with the journey. I said, yo, you just gonna blink game like that? Just gonna leave him and not address the situation no further? Ah, damn, this shit getting serious. This mean niggas really out here done. Man, they getting cold, niggas gone. That's when the nigga had to tap into One Piece. Oh shit.
Different,
getting real now.
Beautiful and poetic it wants to be, and while it's memed on a lot of the time for not having much of a background, I think the approach Kubo took to mastering the craft of his character designs and then the little backgrounds that he would draw and how he would try and slice in this poetic, heavily thematic identity behind each character and each emotion and each action really helped. Like, Kubo had a vision of something very grand and very big, and for a weekly story that's difficult to kind of swallow and comprehend. Conceptually, it's difficult to kind of bring that across, and I think a lot of it does fall underneath the experience. A lot of people aren't looking at the poetry, or a lot of people don't want to look at, the thematic aura that it has. But I think if you do, the more you explore the story, the more you unravel it, the more back-end work Kubo has done to not only bring these characters to life, but to bring that poetry to life. And how would
that shit beautiful, man. That shit beautiful, man. When my nigga shit means something to me. Listen, I'ma keep it a bean. First watch, I think the first time. See, every time I'm thinking about it, it started to come back with an earlier time, nigga. But what he's saying is, like, bro, y'all don't understand that, nigga, he made these set pieces. Like, cause everybody talks about how beautiful Naruto is. It's a given. Even when One Piece, it's like, bro, look at all this shit Oda built. Look at all these things. Look at all this foreshadowing Oda got. That Bleach kind of falls to the wayside, where it's like, bro, just the way the story moves is the beautiful part. Like, bro, the way that nigga get his powers, it's like, bro, that shit still is having ripples to this day, nigga. The way he starts to trip out when Rukia getting taken versus what's that nigga name, Renji and Kuchiki Byakuya whatever. Damn, hope not. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Gotta get right. Hold on, y'all. You about to get right. Don't worry, y'all. I'm still pumping it out for y'all. Technical difficulties, y'all. We're back. Yeah. Right after that, bro, y'all like, what the fuck, bro? Bro, listen, bro, I had to get right, bro. Told this nigga ain't no edits in this bitch. You're running straight through. We got 21, about to finish this whole, but I gotta tell you all this real quick. This shit means something to me. Hey, bro, that nigga, I'm gonna tell you all, like, what the moments that really got me was. Right after that shit, man, when Geen showed up, that's a quick one. That's like straight through. You ain't even peeping it. When Geen show up, when no, I gotta skip a couple. It's a couple of slight ones, but I'm gonna skip them. I gotta bring in Ikaku. I think that's his name. The guy with the staff in the forehead. Nigga gotta bring him in. He tough too. Cause when he's scrapping that nigga, when he finally go all out against Ichigo and they get that final clash, that's tough, bro. That was tough, bro. Then after that, he fight that nigga Cap. Oh, really, he fight Renji. He get Renji gone, but really, he fight that nigga Captain. And then when Captain show up, that's when Zangetsu show up. Who really like, he really technically not even supposed to be Zangetsu. That's really the Wanderich, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't, hey, I ain't seen it up top. Alright, hey, I know him though, bro. The nigga, the fucking Quincy. But we not even there yet. He talking to him, bro. He like, bro, this really all you got? This really how you gonna go out, bro? You going down sad like a bitch, nigga? Like, this how you feeling? Go to the depression world. In the depression world, this bitch all up on the side and shit. They going through shit. He come on, that bitch talking crazy, nigga. Back in this bitch. Then he get right again, bro. When they at the Hokyoku, he say Rookie, he say that bitch with the motherfucking with the flying cloak and the fucking shit flapping in the wind. He say retard talking crazy. Then he get to beat him motherfucking ass. He get to beat every lieutenant that nigga with hey. Then he scrap a whole bunch of niggas. He do his Bankai. He fucking have a whole bunch of aura off. Fucking Byakuga again. Then Aizen come in, stopping niggas' fingers one time. Wishy fingers. Hey niggas. Nigga, that's the end of that arc. There's a lot of things, but I'm gonna tell you what really grabbed me for real was when it's the same arc. When it was in Shukyo Mundo or whatever. When he saved Odahime from Grimmjow or whatever. That bitch hit me. And then when he saved Odahime from Ukiura, hey, bro, you gotta protect the Betty. You gotta protect the Betty, bro. The Betty, if she bad, bro, you gotta protect her, bro. You got to, especially if she on your side. She ride or die, bro. Protect that bitch, nigga. They rare. Nigga, they not coming around all the time, bro. You gotta make sure she's down. She's good, nigga. You gotta make sure now. Risking the life them. Anyways, nigga, that nigga had to beat Ukiura ass for that shit, bro. Had to, bro. Ukiura was in that bitch trying to learn what life was from her. Nigga, what you mean you trying to learn life from my bitch? Nigga, fuck your problem. We really Not for real, like, hey, bro, we don't know what was going on there. We don't know what was going on there. But if it was anybody that was talking to, even now that you think about it, that nigga OT order for that nigga was just in that bitch, like, hey, bro, I'm just trying to see what it's to life, nigga. I don't know what it is. I'm just emptying this bitch. Like, it was like, so that's what it mean to have a heart. Like, what you mean? You ain't got no heart. You over here scrapping, doing all this other shit, nigga. You got 2 forms. You still ain't got no heart, nigga. You greedy bastard. Alright, bro, we done. We done got through it. It's more parts, but nigga, I had to tell y'all that.
Points with their interactions and perhaps what they represent. There's a lot of characters, and I like what they represent. I like how they intertwine with Ichigo. Reading it back then, it felt simple and easy and to the point, but going back and rereading it and playing around with it, it feels so much more ambitious. There's a lot of missteps that I have with Bleach. I'm really not a big fan of the ending. That's just personal reasons. But I do think the journey and the experience that Bleach has offered is obviously revolutionary. Equally with Naruto, while it is long, it is such a great place to start some of the early manga that you should be reading, or early anime you should be watching. One Piece is very, very long. When I came across One Piece as a young lad, the first thing I recognized was that, damn, this long as hell. And you know what? It's still going. So many years later, like 15 plus years later, it's still here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I respect Oda for continuing. Not because he has to, or he's trying to make the most money or be the most popular story to ever exist, but because he's just trying to tell his story his way.
That
While there's
shit tough,
issues
man.
with that sentiment on him chaining stuff, blah blah blah, yada yada, it's ambitious, to
Facts.
say the least, and you have to respect it.
Facts.
I remember falling so in love with early One Piece
Yeah,
because
man.
of its charm. Like,
Yeah,
Luffy is such a recognizable character. He's such a charmer. But really, the sense of adventure, I think, sells One Piece, especially if you're reading it as a kid, young teenager, maybe a bit younger, maybe a bit older. That sense of exploration
Man,
and
what,
wonder
man?
is absolutely beautiful. And you don't get those in
That
the
shit
other
like
big
no
three. You
other,
get different
yeah.
things for the big three, but One Piece is that adventure. The grandness of the world, the
Facts.
collaboration of friendship and exploring to different places to find new friends to help you move forward and to continue growing together. Like, it's a very beautiful sentiment, right? With a really simple outcome, be king of the pirates, find the One Piece treasure, straightforward. That's what's leading you there. And yet, it's complicated. Like, there's so many characters and so many islands and so many little offshoots of adventures that just work so well. But I think it only works really well is because his characters are charming. It has a design philosophy behind his artistry that is different. It's quirky and crunkly and really fits together thematically to work well. Like, all of his characters are drawn in this most obnoxious, weird way. Like, this guy here, he's like 20 foot, you know what I mean? Just a big dude for no reason. He built like that. That's okay. You don't need any explanation. This is a pirate fantasy adventure. Who cares? The more wacky it got, the more charm it would bring in. The more charm the main cast of characters would bring in, the more they would back and forth off each other. Really, the humor is kind of what gets you. I think it's like the secret weapon of One Piece that doesn't really make itself known until the cast starts to form. That's what I found when I was a kid. What I was really loving is the interactions with like Zoro or Sanji or Nami, Chopper or Brook. It was just funny to experience. You know what I mean? I think when that starts to burn or you start to, get used to the humor or tired of it perhaps, what hooks you is these big, conceptually grand, adventurous ideas. Because this easily could have just been a pirate story in retrospect. Go here, go there, blah, 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 take some bad people out, you name it. End of the day, done. But then it turns into this like political strife, turns into these islands at war, turns into military, kind of being confusing and flustered and cannibalizing each other, these warlords that are incredibly powerful beings, these old boys that like wander the seas that are ridiculously powerful, and everything just amplifies more and more. The more context our island has, the more narrative prowess it's going to bring forward, the more you're just going to explore and get the lore of the world filled out even more. This would amplify so much more over the years. Like, he would continue to do it, but make it more intertwined with the main story rather than just being like a character thing. Everything would start to smooth out really, really well. I think if you're mentally prepared and you have a couple of manga under your belt, like 5 to 10 maybe, look at One Piece, Piece and just try and chip through it. Try and get to 200 chapters and 400, 600 chapters. I promise you, if you do enjoy it, you'll fly through a lot of things relatively quickly. And I think the charm does convert from anime to manga really, really well. You might have an easier time with anime, but it's going to take you a lot longer. The adventure, the lore, the ideas, the theory crafting, there's so much that this story, Naruto's story, or Bleach's story has to offer. They're all
I fuck with I fuck with One Piece heavy. He said a lot of the same shit with One Piece. I'm gonna tell you some quick things about One Piece that make it different. Firstly, again, bro, the MC, bro, that nigga Luffy, yeah, he's a charmer. I guess, pause. I guess, but hey, nigga, that, bro, the shit he go through, bro, it's just like all the other ones, bro. He go through shit himself too in his own way, and they deal with traumatic experiences in totally different ways as well as an author. Like, he don't have no hidden world, he don't have no demons. That nigga is just a regular nigga who happens to be made of rubber head. And when his people get hurt, when things go amiss, like, it's not like like that shit coming back. But he, for the most part, he keep it pushing. Like, he keep it pushing. And then even when he gotta stop, you know, that nigga finds a way. Like, I mean, that's every MC. Like, that's every MC. Look, bro. Also, man, I would have to say something that really is dear to me from One Piece, man, is, I mean, I guess he did kind of cover it, but like, bro, just the way you just on the water itself, like, it's such a different experience. Like, you're not traveling the world like nowhere else than the Grand Line. Like, like, that shit is such a wide array of things. Like, you feel like you can go and do anything when you watch One Piece. Like, anything can happen type shit. Especially in between episodes, between islands, it's like that shit real. Like, it's like, damn, we on the open sea again. But when you hit land, it's like, all right, we learning more and more about this land. Like, each time they get to like one of them arc islands, the ones that's gonna world build, nigga, you learn more and more about the world. And it's like the world, that's for real too. Like, the world, the more we read about One Piece, the more it's like, hey, bro, it's not just a story about an MC trying to find the One Piece. It's also like, nigga, like, the world trying to find out the secrets of the world. Like, hey, nigga, they ain't tell us that when we was gonna go watch the motherfucking get all that gold and shit. Goldie Roger ain't say that. He ain't say we was gonna get the secrets of the world. Like, hey, the void century, all that, bro. But yeah, I keep going by One Piece. I keep going, but nigga, we gotta wrap this bitch up. I'm sick about it. We gonna have a One Piece video though. If I had to tell you my favorite Straw Hat just while we here, Brook, of course. I fuck with Luffy. I fuck with Luffy heavy. But Brook is my guy. I ain't gonna rank him for y'all niggas. Fuck that. Nigga, long live the Mary, for sure. I'm gonna let him finish his video out real quick.
Iconic, they're all fantastic, and I'm honestly really, really happy that as a young kid I was able to find the manga medium, find the anime medium, and experience all of these stories relatively early. They have shaped the landscape to the stuff that you know and love today, and either you're in a position like myself where you've read these stories back when you were a kid, or you're new to anime and manga, and maybe you've always heard about the big three but weren't really sure if it was worth your time. I promise you, it is. Go read these stories. They're iconic for a reason, and they will always be iconic. There will never be a new big three or another group of stories that will ever touch or replace them. They stand on their own as figures of this industry, and you gotta respect that.
Oh, dig. We there with that shit. Hey, Got another one coming for y'all boys. Hey, nigga. Hopefully one day we do get a big 3 that's gonna challenge some niggas. Cause that'll just be more content. But if it never happens, I'm glad it was them 3 stories because nigga, them is some bangers, bro. Like for real. Like if you never watched any of them, bro, I'm telling you, experiencing them all 3 at different times is some of the best life you could live, nigga. That ass. They get you through some shit too, for real. But I'll tap in on y'all boys later. Click.